Jolito is buzzing. All right. Sheti, Mexico, Nalasika, Meki, Kidosha, Tito, Meshi Tito, Nushi, Paliaka, Noso, Meshika, Erefiki, Nigibu, Kiaka, Pui, Neshinumu, Nele, Sasa, Meshipapo, Medekaka, Efifi, Siti, Shuku, Hentu, Nashipu, Hentok, Hayakapuku, Nelika, Ehesi, Esipo, Ahalinha, Nezio, Shishimwa, Nalehen, Ashidu, Mahigi, Inuka, Ashu Nueve, Nisiki, Shikawa, Meripa, Nesiko, Akigi, Aluhuzu, Neli, Alusa, Shipapu, Neki, Nugi, Nuwapu, Goe, Neshigan, Nefifi, Apu Asi, Asua, Lakipu, Gezigu, Melika Sihanishiki, Ereki Owo, Nelika Shishi, Fede Mahinga, Diatusu, Shapu, Nepihe, Gefiki, Salasiki, Nehisi, Nepuka, Asha, Neheliki, Jeno, Adida, Sotushuku, Nefiki, Nesipo, Ahalaki, Enigizi, Waza, Zeki, Neshigo, Keti, Keterishiki, Lele, Sipa, Hentoki Mark, Pisama, Shapisa, Lashike. All right, so basically, these are all the nations in America um, as we speak right now. Um, Basically, like Canada is already a state of America without it being finalized in a formal deal. Like it's already a state. It's probably the 51st state of America right now. And then before you know it, Mexico is going to be a 52nd state. Brazil is going to be a 53rd state. It's going to go that way eventually. All right, because you have the United States of Canada, you have the United States of Brazil, you have the United States of Mexico. It's already that now. Um, I look at it like this, right? You have the Nueve, which basically means nine. Um, they are they are on the west side of Chicago. All right, they are basically on the west side of Chicago. You have the Shatta who created the Chickasaw, and they created the Yazoo, and they went into Illinois and became a confederacy under the Aurora. They're all related, right? They're all related. All these nations are related. All of these nations are of African descent. Um, you have the Cheyenne right here. They push Ojibwe up. You have the Cheyenne coming from Detroit because the Cheyenne are in Detroit. Um, you have the Kapui in Detroit. You have the Ho Chunk, basically are a derivative of the Lakota and the Dakota. Um, and all of these people are skilled at land 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 formatting, whether it be growing rice, whether it be growing injera, whether it be growing cotton, whether it be growing corn. They're all skilled at doing something that deals with land formatting, land cultivation. So you see places like Africa, right? Our great cousins over in Africa. They're in the process of doing land restoration in parts of Places like the Middle Eastern, with the Saudis and stuff like that, Dubai. They're doing stuff with them, right? They're talking about land reversal of the degradation, basically, stopping the land from being uh, defertiled. So you have that going on, and this is what places like Detroit can do. This is what places like Philadelphia can do. I think ultimately they're going to bring, if they haven't already, they're going to bring the beautification program to a place like Philadelphia, because they live in row houses, and the row house has been there since, man, forever, right? Definitely the '60s. So they're going to have to do something about um, land starvation, where they just have soil just sitting around that's not being developed. So you have land degradation going on, where these inner cities don't have corn growing wild. It can be um, Chickahominy corn, like different colors of corn, like brown corn, red corn, um, yellow corn, green corn, blue corn, all these different types of corns that's growing wild. They could do that for the people, right? The city can actually take executive powers and create a budget and have someone come in from other places or the people that's already here and grow these patches and crops of corn. They could grow mulberry bushes in parts of Milwaukee for the inner city people. They could do that. You can eat mulberry very wild. When it ripens in the summer, you can pick it off the tree and eat it. I have a mulberry bush. You could do that. And my mulberry bush is like, man, my mulberry bush is like, it's like, it's over 20 feet tall. Like, it's a bunch. I have one in my backyard, and I also have one um, across the street from me that I bought. So I have that, and I'm going to plant avocados eventually. I'm going to plant avocados. I'm going to plant a bunch of avocados because I love avocados. I love when they ripen. You can eat them with corn tortillas. You can make quesadillas out of them with no cheese. I feel like when you plant these things and you harvest them, they can last for you for a while. You can feed them to the squirrels. You can feed them to the birds. Like, when you feed nature, your ground is going to ultimately um, develop over time. It's ultimately going to develop over time. This is where you get the high weeds. This is where you get the bed of grass. The untapped source of the grass, the thick bed. This is where you get that. This is because whatever a scavenger eats and it drops on the ground through how can I say this? Um, Through bowel releasing its bowels, it's going to go into the soil, and the soil is ultimately going to uh, basically push out from the ground. The roots is going to push out from the ground, and it's going to create a softer soil. It's going to create a more prebiotic oriented soil. That means it's going to be good for seed bedding. It's going to be good for root planting. It's going to be good for ultimately watering, because you don't have to water your soil all the time. Like, you can just allow the rain to come. You know what I mean? For those who are scared of droughts, you can allow the rain to come. So you can do that. And like, you have the Wazizi, the Osage. You have them here. Um, you have the Shawnee, the Alnabak. Um, you have all these nations that basically help create America as we see it today, with man created rivers, man created lakes, man created creeks, um, man created gulfs, um, man created mines. You have all of these things, and when I'm saying mine, I'm basically talking about the Anishinaabe, with the salt mines and the copper mines. I'm talking about that, the excavation rituals. So you have that happening. So again, um, if Canada becomes a state, which it already is, um, this is going to allow African descent, African Americans. This is going to allow us, the natives, to go into other parts of our country and to habitate, um, to just be one with the one with the land, the Iosich, to be one with the the already open soil. So if we do something like that, imagine how vast we're going to become in this land we call America. You know, because Canada is not or should I say Cree? Cree is not Mishkiwe Oku Wayaninikwek. It's not it's not habitated. That land is not habitated. You have a bunch of French over there who came from Britain, and they aren't taking care of the land. Um, they aren't taking care of the land. Not that they need to, but they're here on a caller's dime, and they don't have any more dimes, so they can go to the phone booth and call home. How are we going to handle this when Canada becomes a state? Okay, we already have Cree people here, and they know the land. The Cree people who are in Detroit, they can guide the Lenape. They can guide the Wichita. They can guide Decatur. They can guide us into Cree territory and show us how to balance off the land. You want two people on this side, you want three people on this side, you want to balance it off at an angle. So we can do that. Um, Me personally, I don't want to leave um, these parts and resettle in another state. If I were to leave the state I'm in right now, I would probably go to Wyoming. I would probably go to Cheyenne, Wyoming somewhere. I would probably go that way. If I wouldn't go to Minnesota, I would probably do something like that. Um, and like you have to take your tribe with you. So like you would want to take a tribe with you. Your sons, your daughters, your wife. That's what you would want to do. You know. So like this is very important when we're looking at this map. We're trying to figure out um, will Baxter get along with Inoka? Will Tishkasiki get along with Miami? Um, in the past, they've shown they won't get along. Tishkashi and Maya. Some two in the past haven't gotten along. So we need to um, rearrange them. We need to rearrange them. We need to intermarry Kisuke and Shiny and have them go into Miami and have Tishika come into Jirari. We need to have them come together closer. Um, Anoka needs to. They need to go to Timakwe. They need to go there. They need to talk to the chief of Timakwe. We need to bring African descent up from Yole and put them in Inoka. That's what we need to do. Yuchi, Wyandotte, they need to talk more. They need to talk more. Ojibwe needs to talk to Lenape. Lenape needs to talk to Muskoke more. Inuit, they need to they need to come down and make a peace treaty with Cato. Inu need to make a newer peace treaty with Niue. All right, and Numu needs to talk to Tishkika. All right. We need to bring old families back together. Is basically what I'm saying. Aurelie Hohen, they need to create a border with Chonatan. They need to create a border with Chonatan. Anyanwea, they need to go to Yole. And Tubasoko, they need to welcome them. Tubaso need to welcome. So let's see. A lot of people don't want to live in Tenishkawaki. They don't want to live in Bonet. And the reason is that because the surrounding water. They're afraid that they're going to get flooded one day. A lot of people are saying, remove themselves from the East Coast because of the water beds. I'm not so much intrigued by this idea. I'm not opposing it, but I'm not intrigued by it. What I will say is when you have a fresh water source, that means you have water life. So we could domesticate whales. We could domesticate sharks. We could domesticate a lot of red snapper, a lot of wild red snapper. We could domesticate a lot of perch on all sides of Lake Michigan. And we could have fishing squads go down there and cut up meat and bring meat back to the villages for the people in Wyoming, Michigan, for the people in Nueve, Michigan, and they could basically hold face for their people in their villages. You see what I mean? Your Bimison is not gonna trip. You know what I mean? They're not gonna trip about that. All right. So we need to start looking at this stuff, man. Chinatics, they have a creek in their parts. So they have a bunch of um, whitening fish, so they can just like go to the creek, stick their hand in there, and pull one out. You know, you know. We like fried fish. We can do that. Um, the key thing is that we teach our daughters how to fish. That's the key thing. We teach our daughters how to pick the right berries. That's the right thing. Um, we teach our sons how to plant corn and plant squash and plant beans and plant avocado. Because avocado is a squash. So we can teach our teenage sons how to do that. They can learn that by 13. They can learn how to do that by 13. Because by 10 and 12, they're learning their cursive language. They took cursive out the schools so we can teach them how to write hieroglyph, how to sound in hieroglyph. We can teach them that. That's what Sequoia was doing. And that that didn't that didn't hold face long. So um, we should learn. We should have knew Sequoia's language all over Africa by now. We can't have people saying you don't have a script. We can't have people saying that. You know, we can't have people saying you're borrowing our script. We can't have people saying that. We're one family. Okay, we're one family divided into family names. All right, with familiarity. You have a family name with someone, that means you have familiarity. That doesn't excuse the fact that you have family who you don't know that you need to meet again. I always say this, like a stranger is more inviting than someone that you already know. All right, you know, a stranger is more inviting than someone you know. Um, so and a stranger has more to offer than someone that you know. You see what I mean? And a stranger can just be um a cousin who lived 2 states over that you don't see often, but you saw them at the family reunion. They told you what they had going on. You know, you saw them at the powwow. You met them before. You met their pops. You met their mother. You met them before. All right, so it's nothing odd going on there. So give this stuff a look, man. This is groundbreaking information. Um, we have to know who we are. Chesaki Nebwe Iwinatu.